Hi, everybody. Beth Gordon, Chippewa Ranch Camp Alumni Association. Welcome to our sixth edition with Laura Patinkin. And before we get started, which I can't wait, you guys, this is going to be such a fun interview. I want to remind everybody about Alumni Camp, August 19th through 22, and also about the Chippewa Ranch Camp Alumni Association swag on the website. Go ahead and participate. $5 of each purchase goes towards Camp for All Kids. Laura, hi.
Hi.
It is so great to reconnect with you. It's been many years, and we just have so much history between family and camp. And I just want to read this paragraph to kick off the meeting because I just think this is so impressive.
Oh my God.
Laura is a New York-based actor, originally from Chicago and Atlanta. She has appeared on Broadway, off-Broadway, national tour, Broadway Labs, in numerous regional theaters around the country, and a voiceover actor as well. Not to mention, Laura recently appeared in the movie Bad Education with Hugh Jackman. I can't imagine how that went, but I can't wait to hear all about it. But let's start off and kind of tie this into camp. What years were you at Chippewa?
You know, it's so funny. Chippewa had such a huge effect on me that I feel like I was one of those, like I've been listening to your interviews. I'm like, I was there for 10 years. I was there for only 4 summers.
It seems like a lot more.
I know, because I don't know if you know about this. I went to Maramita for my first year of camp in 1972.
I didn't.
I was miserable. I wrote letters that said, if you love me, you'll come and get me.
Oh no. Oh no.
But I made it through the summer, and then my mom somehow had enough, I don't know where she came up with the gumption to do it after how miserable I was, and sent me to Chippewa, and it changed my life. So I was there from 73 through 77.
And that Jerry Gold era was really magical. You know, there have been 2 owners since then, and 3 if you even talk about after Jerry passed away and Nancy Gold took over for a few years. But
Yeah.
as young kids, Jerry was really magical. And I think we used to complain about the discipline that we had to do with the uniforms and the writing letters home.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
But it was really as a young kid, it kind of helped shape who we are.
Well, it was structured, but at the same time, it's sort of the not having to worry about how cool you looked or, you know, choosing things to put on, that you were free to just have fun, be a girl, not worry about that aspect of things. It was so low maintenance, you
It's
know?
really true. It's really true. So when we talk about camp and obviously your love of theater, your success in theater, talk about that at camp. Was that something that you had pre-Chippewa or something that you kind of nurtured while at camp?
It is all I've ever wanted to do. I was in a theater company in the South Side of, well, it wasn't in the South Side. I don't know. I took a bus there, but when I was 5 or 6 years old, called Tom Thumb Players. It was like close to downtown. And so it's all I've ever wanted to do. But then going to camp, I was thrilled that Chippewa had great dance, huge influence on me. We were just talking about this. Patty Katz, Sydney Mesh. I mean, they really were my mentors. The way they handled themselves, they're paying it forward to younger kids. All of that was a huge part in shaping me.
Right. And they called it song and dance. And that was one of the activities we had to sign up for was song and dance.
I remember doing a number that Sid choreographed. Do you remember that song TSOP?
Of course.
That whole disco thing. And I had a wrap skirt and I was like, oh my God, it's polka dot and I'm so cool. And it got to
I
be
remember the skirts, they were wrapped black and white or navy and white polka dot skirts.
Yeah, it was
all right, I'm going to take a guess that somewhere under the stage right now in the little theater are probably those skirts.
That same mildewy smell, really choice. Yeah.
Were you there for the summer we did on Parents Weekend, Guys and Dolls, or was that after you? Might have been like 73-ish. No, you might have missed it.
73. I don't remember Guys and Dolls. We did, I feel like we did, oh my God, my brain. Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I feel like we did that there. Like I remember doing Telephone Hour.
Totally possible. And there was probably like a big screen banner on the blue wall on the back of the stage, and then the what's it called? We enter and exit the stage, that area with
The
the,
backstage area, the
yes.
all that, yeah, it was great.
And,
My whole I just remember Patty playing guitar. That's what I remember.
and to turn it full speed ahead, as we were just discussing this summer, Patty will be teaching theater at
Yeah,
Steffi Hook and Moss's camp, and your daughter will be there as well.
the counselor, yeah.
It's just crazy. This world is so small. So tell us about school. You did wonderful things in high school, and then you went to college to even further your
I did.
acting.
So I knew that I wanted to study music theater in college, and I wanted to go to Juilliard, which would have been straight acting, but my parents wouldn't let me audition for a school in New York City. So I auditioned for a few different schools, and Carnegie Mellon is where I ended up in their music theater program. And
Fabulous.
yeah, it was great. A tough love, tough place, where they cut you every semester, and really rigorous stuff. There were a few times there where I thought, I'm not going to make it, I'm just going to give this all up and go home. But it was great training. And from there, then I went to New York, and, they really concentrate on you being a triple threat. Their program now, for any of people who are listening to this, who are looking into theater programs, they now put in business classes for actors, which there needs to be, and all that kind of stuff. I wish they'd had that when I was there. So
Yeah, I could see where that would be really, really helpful, sort of navigating, going out on your own and choosing the right path. I can't imagine how challenging it must be and how competitive. So, okay, so you folks didn't let you go to New York and audition at Juilliard.
right,
And there are other kids that would have said, then forget it, I'm not going to school.
yeah.
Obviously, going to school and getting that tough love kind of makes or breaks you in a way that just not even going to school and trying to make it on your own does, I would imagine.
There's no doubt. I mean, I was lucky enough to go. For me, it was the perfect thing because it was a conservatory program. So you did freshman year have to take some other things as far as, English and history and stuff, but very little of that. Most of it was 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. I was in either acting, solfege, where you're learning sight reading, and voice classes, and every kind of dance, and theater history, and Shakespeare, and just every kind of anything related to theater, and training. And you have to do all the backstage stuff too. So it was 8 to 6 classes, and then you were running theater at night from 7 to 11. You're either on a backstage crew or working in costumes or lighting, or that kind of thing.
What a
So
great experience. Okay, so you're done with college, and then you get your first opportunity on
yeah.
Broadway. And without giving away too much, tell us about your first experience on Broadway.
Oh God. Well, there was a lot before Broadway. So I moved to New York in 84, and then I was just working in regional theaters and off Broadway. And then I got Fiddler on the Roof, which I replaced an actress named Sharon Lawrence, who was playing Seidel. So first I went in as a chorus person, and I was a swing. A swing is somebody who learns all of the chorus parts, and then you have to be able to jump in for any of those roles, which is, yeah, stomach ache inducing. Yeah. Yeah. And so that was a great experience. And then when it came time, she knew she was going to leave to go do some movie or something. So I auditioned for her role and got to do the last closing month of it or whatever as title. So
Wow. Okay. So closing month on Fiddler on the Roof and having that experience off Broadway.
yeah.
Right now, you have the opportunity to do one or the other. Which would you choose? Which is your jam?
What a great question. Can I both?
This is your world. You can do whatever you want.
Ideally, I mean, obviously you want to do something that's creatively fulfilling. And sometimes you end up on Broadway, maybe doing something that is a little more commercial, but you make a great living. And then you hope to intersperse that with things that are fulfilling, that feed your creative juju, just getting to do a deeper role, and something that runs for a while so you can really explore it. And you'll love this. I did created the lead in a show called Beau Jest at the Lambs Theater off Broadway, about a Jewish girl from Chicago who is a school teacher who hires a guy from an escort service to play her Jewish doctor boyfriend to please her parents, because she's been seeing a guy who's
Ah,
Jewish.
fabulous.
And the woman who was playing my mother in the show was a Chicago actress who didn't like who I was seeing in real life. And she introduced me to her daughter-in-law's brother, and that's who I married.
No way. No
Yeah.
way. You can't write that script and have it turn out that way.
So Off-Broadway changed my life, literally. That's how I met my husband.
Oh my gosh, and you have your 3 beautiful children, and wow, I didn't know that, and I did a lot of research on you, Missy. That one got away from me.
Yeah, I throw that one in there. It's a good story.
Gosh darn it. So, okay, what influenced you? Did you have a major influence? Was there one thing, something you saw on screen or stage that you just knew this is gonna be your calling?
Another great question. I don't know. I think movie musicals when I was little. I mean, I loved Singing in the Rain and Sound of Music and all of that. And my brother and sisters and we would put on shows and invite the neighborhood to come and watch. And we moved to Atlanta when I was 15. And I had come from Highland Park High School in Chicago, which is just, where Steppenwolf Theater basically came out of. And we had this teacher there named Barbara June. You knew about Barbara June Patterson? Greener. I mean, an incredible influence on all of us. She was sort of our Svengali guru. I traveled with her to London. We had a group of us and went to
Nice.
her, and also tough love. She was incredible and very professional for high school. But when I moved to Atlanta, I took all of that with me. And when it came time to look at schools, I met a girl who is still my best friend. And we kind of powered each other. It was like the two of us in high school. And she still is a huge influence on me. So yeah.
That's wonderful. I forgot you guys moved to Atlanta. I mean, I knew that, but I kind of had forgotten about it. Wow.
Yeah.
Susie and
Yes.
Barbara. Sorry, family, bringing in
Cindy.
family. Tell us about your time with the USO.
That was an incredible experience. It was an eye-opening way to see the world because we stayed all in captain's billeting. We would stay always on the bases. And the first summer, it was all through the Far East, Japan, Korea, Diego Garcia, which is an island out in the Indian Ocean, and Johnston Atoll. And as I was telling you before, was hoisted out of helicopters and was living on ships out in the Indian Ocean. And then the next year we did the Caribbean, and the next year I directed and choreographed the show, and we did Europe. It was in Greece and Italy and Spain and all of the bases there. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
How old were you? Like what time frame was that?
So I graduated college in 84. So it was 85, 86, and 87, those summers.
Can't imagine. Wow. To be so young and to have such an amazing experience with that and with the troops. I mean, how many of us just never, ever in our lifetime have that kind of experience?
Talk about giving me chills. Yeah. And just the respect. I mean, some of them, like if we went out into the ships, had not seen women in 7 months.
And you were with women who were part of the beauty pageant?
Was with Miss America pageant finalists, like they were talent finalists each year.
Oy.
Yeah,
What was that experience like? Were they respectful towards you guys as women?
Yes, I would say for the most part. I mean,
Good.
we had an occasional couple of experiences where people may have over imbibed, where they maybe were not on their best behavior, but for the most part, they were incredibly respectful and grateful. And the women too. I mean, there were, military women too, but and families and things like that. But for the most part, it was men. And sometimes we'd have to have security outside our doors, depending where we were staying.
Sure.
And there's a lot about, especially nowadays, it's so much more politically charged, but back then it was a great way to see the world and see what they have to do. And I don't think of the world in the same way anymore, the way they protect us. And
sad but true, but it's what a great thing to have that memory at such a young age to be able to share and travel. I can't imagine. Would you have done differently? Is there anything you would have done differently in your career looking back where you are now?
Great question. I think I would not give up anything about the way that I raised my kids. However, I have done some things through the years that I've raised my kids, but I wish I had kept my hand in just a little bit more, only so that my kids could have seen my passion more in action.
Mm.
Um, and them to see, because when they did get to see me perform, and now I'm producing as well. I'm doing some things having to do with producing like a film now and that kind of stuff. It's important for them to see that mommy also has her own interests and, is busy with that. They got to see more of it as I got older and they became more independent. I was more willing I still do commercials and voiceovers and things like that. So
That's an interesting, I didn't expect you, I didn't know what you were going to say. I didn't expect that to be so family related. I so just love that. There's just nothing more important than family. Do any of your kids have any desire to follow you at all?
no, which is both my husband's a surgeon and I'm an actor, and neither, no, like we completely missed the gene, or maybe we gave them a bad message. I don't know, but as long as they're happy, obviously it's the main thing. But my two girls were both serious dancers, so at least I got some of that in there.
Oh, yay. Okay, so I want to learn more about Hugh Jackman because, let's be clear,
Yeah.
he is a looker and he's very talented. What was it like doing this movie?
It was great. I only had one scene, and my scene was with Hugh and Ray Romano.
I
So
saw it. I absolutely saw it.
tiny, literally, if you blinked, you missed it. But it was a great day. I had 4 hours with them in a room, and also it was a day that the midterm elections were going on, and everybody was so into it. So they'd go like that, and they would both run to their phones and back with the results, and so that was really fun. They were great, just normal guys. Ray Romano especially was a lot of waiting around, as it is in film. It's a lot of hurry up and wait, and so a lot of sitting around. And we just had huge discussions all day long about family and politics, as it were, because it was right in the middle of everything.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was great. I loved it.
That's kind of wild. It's funny in some of the interviews and some of the things, some of the comments and conversations that I've had, we've all kept like the politics off screen, off
Yes.
camera, because you just don't know. So it's great to hear, talk about it now in the midterm elections. And I bet it kind of was very much felt during the filming and doing all of that.
Can I just say, I'm so happy it's in hindsight.
Can I just say that, like, I agree and that we're going to move forward? Okay, so if a young Chippy is watching this, and we certainly hope that there are. In fact, I understand that there are a few young kids at camp now who are very much into theater and singing and are supported by their families, including some Highland Park families.
Great.
What's the best way for them to reach you, Laura? What can they do to have a conversation with you?
I am happy to talk to anybody, anytime. So many people paid it forward to me as
Mm.
as I was making my way, and no path is correct, by the way. Everybody finds their own journey. They can call me, smoke signals, internet. I have a website. They're welcome to write. It's laurapatinkin.com, so it's not hard to find. Or call me, and you're welcome to give out my number to anybody. Email, and don't make fun of me because it's still AOL.
Okay, so like I still have an AOL too, but I use my Gmail sometimes. So I have both. So we're just showing our age, Laura.
Somebody called me an oldie the other day because it's AOLDIE. Isn't that funny?
I would cry. And don't call me ma'am, because that's not going to get you very far with me either.
I think it's like retro cool at this point.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I can't. I can't do that. Well, this has been so much fun. I'm so excited to chat with you. I hope that others are inspired by your career of Carnegie Mellon, off Broadway, Broadway theater, voiceover work that you're doing now. And you mentioned, oh gosh, I can't let this go. You had mentioned you're working on a movie,
It's
producing.
actually yes, it's an Australian US collaboration. We're 4 female producers putting together. It's a movie of monologues, actually. So it's 6 Australian and 6 American. We put out a request for submission to writers in both places, and we got over 300 monologues, and it's all about female, and we curated it down to 12 of them. And yeah, I think it's going to be really great.
And when will
So
we start seeing that and promoting it to help you promote online as part of our alumni group?
I'll let you know. I think it's going to be released in July or September. First as a YouTube thing, but we're hoping for it to move forward into something else.
Oh
So
my gosh, fingers
great
crossed.
for that.
Certainly hope that happens. And
You're the
this
I
is
want to know when you're going to be interviewed so people can ask you. Maybe we should switch roles
we can
just
do
for fun.
that.
I can ask you questions.
Oh, we can do that. Should we put that
Okay.
on the calendar? Oh gosh.
All right, let's do that.
Boy, as my mother would say, payback is triple. I don't know.
That'll be nice.
Okay, we'll think about that for the fall. We're actually going to take the summer off
Okay.
because most people are now going to be hopefully at camp
Yeah.
or busy for the summer, and then we'll pick back up in the fall. So it gives us another excuse for us to chat again.
Sounds good. I'm so honored you asked me, and thank you for doing all these things for Chippewa and for alumni and everything. It's really special.
Well, it is absolutely my pleasure because there's nothing stronger, as I have found out over these last million years, than the camp bond.
You're right. It's the best.
Thank you, Laura. So great catching up. We'll make sure that folks can reach out to you. I'll put it in the promo and look forward to catching up with you so very soon.
Me too. Thank you for asking me, Beth.
You bet. Take
See you.
care.